Hi again, it's Robert from allbellspalsy.info. Please visit the site, please buy the ebook. Doing that just helps us to keep going and to keep growing and providing better information. Now, frequently asked questions. Who gets it? Now I know I've covered this in another video as far as how many people get it and how common it is, but are there groups of people or individuals that are more presupposed to actually get it? Well, anyone is the initial answer, can get it in their lifetime. Are there people who are more susceptible? Yes, research says that there is. Pregnant women during their third trimester. Now, this is something that at the moment isn't in the book. I will try and include this in 2011. Obviously, having never been pregnant, it wasn't something that I really knew a lot about or could find a lot out about at the time. But it is quite common. I know people who have had that happen. It does go, but it's just another thing that you really just don't need, I would imagine, when you're just about to give birth to a child. Diabetics seem to be slightly higher on the incidence list. Those who've had recent episodes of the flu or a respiratory problem. The flu vaccine is a completely another different subject, and it's something I'm looking into at the moment and doing research on. So bear with me on that. I would say, if you're not in a susceptible category that is going to suffer terribly from the flu, I wouldn't have the flu vaccine. I have nothing to base that on at all, apart from things that I've watched, read and listened to. I need to do research before I would say definitely, but all I can say is that definitely flu or a recent respiratory problem or infection could make you more susceptible to it. Those are the family history of the condition. Again, no real figures, but there just does seem to be a slightly higher incidence. In my own experience, it's something I absolutely never knew about. I had it. There was a reason that myself and my father hadn't been speaking for a period of time. This actually brought us together. He'd had it when he was in his early 20s, and I never knew anything about that. His went completely. So, little good thing that came out of it. It brought me and my dad back together talking and everything. But again, slightly higher incidence of people who have a history within the family of having it. Obviously, I'm going to say obviously, I'm not trying to be flippant, but if you've had surgery and it's damaged the facial nerve, then obviously that's yes, you are more susceptible if you're having surgery around that area. There's some operations that I don't think they can actually not damage it, and again, whether or not that recovers depends upon the surgery that you're having. There is a slightly higher, they won't really come out and say this, but there is a slightly higher instance of it in the colder winter months. Certainly I've noticed that, even with visits to the site and things, but other research that I've done, they won't come out and say the cold causes it, but I do think that's a factor, without a doubt. Whether it's just that, it reduces your immune system, people are getting respiratory and flu problems, and the other things that make you more susceptible, I don't know, but certainly one of the things I would always advise is to keep this area, your face completely in head, but certainly this area where your facial nerve comes through into your ear, through to your face. I'll go through this on another video very shortly. I'm trying to get these videos done much quicker now to get the information out there. But yeah, keep that area warm, because as you know, things flow better, signals are flowing, things flow better when they're warmer than cold, and what you don't want is anything to be hampering your recovery. You'll notice as well, I'll go into this in another video, but there are times when you'll think it's getting worse, you'll think it's coming back or something if you've recovered. And it's not. It could be to do with the fact you're dehydrated, could be the fact to do with you're stressed, could be the fact to do that you're very cold, or it is cold, or you've been out in a breeze or something. So keep wrapped up warm. Start taking. I never used to take care of myself. I do a bit more now, so take care of yourself and keep that area warm. Oh, one other thing on this particular video, another frequently asked question, will I get it again? The answer is 93% of people won't, ever. 7% will, okay? Again, slightly more likely if you've got a history of it in your family. Usually a gap of about 10 years as an average between getting it now and getting it again in the future. But 93%, come on, 93%, why would you not be in 93% of the population who get Bell's palsy once and once only? Let's see if there's... Okay, I've put in my notes here actually that yeah, if it's, you know, if you have a family history of it, or if you're diabetic, there is more of a chance. But again, it's only slightly more of a chance that you might get it again, you know, 10 years hence or something. But again, 93% of people don't. And one just last thing on the type of people that get it, for some inexplicable reason, the people are, it occurs equally within all races of people, apart from Japanese. No idea why, no one else seems to know why either. But people of Japanese descent have a slightly higher susceptibility to Bell's palsy than any other race. Bit of useless information. Not the one that anyone would be interested in knowing either. But, right, have I covered everything that I would like to cover on that? One last thing, bilateral Bell's palsy. When it goes down both sides of your face and you have complete facial paralysis, that's what I had myself, in less than 1% of cases. So 99% of people do not get that. So again, you know, if you've just got it, or if you're going through, even if you're up to 6 months or something, you are in the top, you know, the top 93% who will never get it again, 99% who will only ever have it down one side, and 80% who will be completely healed within 6 months. I hope, even though I've waffled on, and I will get better at these videos, I promise you, or hope that I do anyway, I hope that's been of some help and been somewhat uplifting to you. Until next time, which will be another frequently asked questions video, I think. Until next time, I wish you a speedy and complete recovery. Until then, take care.